It's time for another unscripted video. But this is no ordinary unscripted video. Today is a very special day. Today is the 5th anniversary of when I became a coaster enthusiast. Except, I lied. Well, sort of. It's the 5th anniversary of when I wrote Twisted Timbers, which is kind of the coaster that turned me into enthusiast, but really, the process took from late March until September 1st, 2019 to go from GP to enthusiast, so it didn't all happen in one day, but we need to start somewhere, and May 3rd is pretty good, I must say. 5 years ago was at the same time as not that long ago. It feels like forever ago. My life was completely different back then. I wasn't even done with high school yet, although that changed later that month. Now I'm done with college, and 5 years is a period of time where not all of my hobbies last, but this one did. And that's because I got so many memories from coasters that I wanted to share for this very special day. So let's get started. And of course, this is only a partial list. This barely even scratches the surface of my time as a coaster enthusiast. And also, I'm not going to rank these in order of how good they were. I can't do that. These are all very important events, so we're just going to go in chronological order. Here we go. The first one we're going to talk about is my first ride on Dominator at King's Mini in 2016. Yeah, I know this is all about me being a coaster enthusiast, but that was from 3 years before I was a coaster enthusiast. But you know what? It's my video. If you don't like, you can make your own video, alright? Sorry about that. Nah, we're just joking, of course. Just joking. Come on, people. So my first ride on Dominator at King's Mini was very, very important. Later figuring out that was my 10th coaster credit. That's pretty good. I did ride a coaster that went upside down about a year earlier. That would be Loopy Star at Jolly Roger on the pier. Not really the best, but wasn't that big. I just thought I would try a loop, and well, I'm still here. But Dominator was like big. I recognized the track from Roller Coaster Tycoon, so can't be that bad, right? And I was there with the Boy Scout troop. Some people went on Dominator, and I was like, you know what? I have to wait for them to be done anyway. I might as well wait about the same amount of time and go on Dominator, right? So, I just faced my fear out of convenience. I have been on coasters before, but this is a big steel coaster. Not only that, there's no feet to put your floor on. Ah, great. So your legs are dangling.
It's a dangling coaster, which means that you're sitting in a chair with your legs dangling. It's a dangling coaster.
Dangling.
It's a dangling coaster. It's a dangling coaster.
Dangling.
It's a dangling coaster with your legs
dangling above the track. And as a 15-year-old kid, that was kind of scary to me. All the way up the lift hill, I was so scared. But as soon as we detached it, as soon as we were falling down, I was like, well, this is actually a lot of fun. I like this. Let's do some more. And more we did. Indeed. The very next ride we did is another S-tier memory, and that was my first and only ride on Volcano the Blast Coaster. I didn't know it was a launch coaster when we were in line for it. All the guys were just going there, and I was like, okay, we're doing this now. Great. It's a long line, but I could do it. And we got on the seats, and I was like, oh wow, it goes underneath the track. Yeah, Dominator's fun. This should be fun too. We took a turn to left, and whoa, it launched me. I was a brand new thrill seeker. I thought pretty much any coaster was good, so that really caught me by surprise. It was crazy. And then we went around this big turn, and then there was a second launch that brought you out of the volcano. I'm not sure if the fire effect was working, but it was like a mind-blowing experience, and one of my favorite coasters of all time until I wrote Twisted Timbers. I believe that was the next time a coaster became my number one. I admit I have a little bit of bias because I didn't know it was a launch coaster. I mean, I'm not sure why I haven't heard of it. I went there once previously with Volcano Opry. I should have seen it from the Eiffel Tower, but I don't know, I was young and dumb. It's too bad that I can't ride it again, because obviously, as everyone knows, it was removed from the park's lineup in 2019, so I can't judge it by 2024 standards. You can't do that, but that just makes my first ride on it extra special. And a lot of these are at Kings Bend because that was basically like my coaster academy. That's how I got into coasters. I spent a lot of time there as a GP. I love coasters, but I wasn't really into the study of them until 2019. But the next memory is my first ride on Fight of Fear. Now this is just a clone of like Joker's Day in Six Flags America, so it's nothing crazy, but I didn't know that at the time, man. The track could be literally going anywhere, and it was just this dark coaster that launched really quickly. You couldn't see where you were going. In line, I was like, alright, we're doing this now. And so with the Boy Scouts, I was with some friends from school for chamber choir, and just went so fast, and when the train was going from the exit to the entrance platform, one guy said, "Oh no, the poor people, they fell out the train!" And while I thought there had to be a logical explanation to that, it was still a very scary experience, but still a lot of fun. For some reason, my friend Victor went on the train ahead of us, and as it was launching, he was saying bye to another friend, Stella. If you guys are watching this, how are you doing? I miss you guys. And he was like, "Bye, Stella," and then the train started launching, and he went, "Bye, Stella!" One of the best comedic reliefs I've ever heard. As for the ride, it was quite fun. And the reason I'm doing this video at all. Roughly 2 years later, I went on Twisted Timbers at King's Dominion. I used to think RMC coasters were really stupid. I vaguely remember seeing a POV of Steel Vengeance sometime in senior year of high school, but at the time I thought it was really stupid. I thought, wait, it's a wooden coaster that goes upside down? What? That's too futuristic. Back my day, when on a roller coaster, you sit right side up. This is too you don't get. But when I saw that there was this ride at King's Bend called Twisted Timbers, I was like, okay, now I'm interested. Wait, isn't that where Hurler used to be? Oh, I see. Now it was closed for a couple of years. Maybe there is a purpose for these hybrid coasters to exist. Yeah, I'm willing to give it a try. So it was my #1 priority when I was at King's Bend on May 3rd, 2019.
2019, 2019, 29, 29, 29.
I was getting on, not really knowing what to expect. One of my friends beforehand said that you can't have anything with you in line because it's a very intense ride. They didn't know that they add cell phone lockers in the queue line. I guess that's okay. So I got ready. There was someone there from another chorus class who I only met during that experience and then never saw or talked to her again. So making that extra special, I got on this. That part seems kind of unusual, but it works. But from the very first drop, I thought, this is a coaster unlike any I've been on before. The airtime was so good. The only thing keeping me in was that lap bar restraint. I don't know how to describe it. I can't describe in words. You actually have to put yourself in my shoes at the time and experience the roller coaster, having only ridden 24 coasters before. Yeah, I liked coasters, but there seemed to be something different about this. I was like, wow, this airtime is better than I expected. You know what? I need to go to more amusement parks. This airtime thing is quite good. And there's this manufacturer. It's called Rocky Mountain Construction. Huh. That seems interesting. I'd like to know some other manufacturers of coasters. Later that same month, I did Building of Triple J Ocean Resort, which in terms of quality is a bad series.
Moment of truth. Let's test Batman. Alright, it works. Probably could slow that down. Alright, I guess Batman doesn't die in Infinity War, or more recent Endgame. Apparently, Batman dies in Triple J Ocean Resort Part 3. Alright.
Will you remember me?
No, because I'm a fictional character, and I've never seen you in my entire life. Plus, I'm dead, bitches. Peace!
but at the time, you can see that I was slowly but surely becoming a coaster enthusiast. Without that, I mean, maybe I would have been an enthusiast at some other point, but that coaster is what made my journey to where I am right now that much more personal and special. And then, just a few months later, I enrolled at University of New Haven, and for Welcome Week, they provide some park trip opportunities. The first one was to Lake Compounds on September 1st, which was my first park trip as an enthusiast counting credits, and the day afterwards was to Six Flags Great Adventure. And of course, that means El Toro. When we got there, it started to rain, but as soon as the rain cleared, I got ready for my ride on El Toro with high expectations, and it was meant. And I think that was a slow ride on El Toro because it just got started and it rained. I'm not sure if that helped or hurt, but like, what needs to be said about El Toro? I'd like to see how it's right now because I only ever rode it that day. It was my 30th credit. If you saw my Great Adventure videos, I was completely out of breath out of it. After it.
So, I just got off El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure, and I must say this, but holy crap, I can barely speak now. There's the bowl.
As my #1 coaster for 3 more school years. Twisted Timbers turned me into enthusiast, but El Toro made me proud to be one. And here's another one of those rare days with 2 S-tier memories. The next one is first ride on Kingda Ka, also one of the most exciting coasters I've ever ridden. Yeah, I know, enthusiasts are like, yeah, it's just a Top Thrill Dragster ripoff, but it's easy to agree to do something when you're not actually there. But my first time riding, it was like, this is the tallest coaster in the world and the fastest in the Western Hemisphere. I've never done anything like this before. Regardless of line, I wanted to go in the front row because I heard that's the smoothest. Someone in the queue line behind me wished me good luck. That was very nice of her. I tried to do something very funny during this, which helped with, I don't know, a bit of the scariness. What I did was, okay, a few months earlier, I released a video called George Curran Rides a Launch Coaster. So I was like, Americans are pussies, take a fucking chance. Take a chance once in a while, do something exciting. And as soon as the coaster started to launch, I did the George Carlin thing. Ah! So much wind in my mouth. That launch was really good. You get to a point where like, alright, I'm done accelerating, but no. You have to keep accelerating. You push your body to the absolute maximum it could in this side of the world. It could just be that launch and a big turn to the station, and it would still be a fantastic ride. And the next one is my first ride on Candemonium. Now, this is a really good experience, but in a different way if you ask me or Derek. Derek was just getting started to a big roller coaster at that time. That was his 10th credit, whereas it was my 58th. I did ride a B&M Hyper being Nitro Six Flags Great Adventure. I thought it was good, but not like the best thing in the world. So when I went to Candemonium, I thought, maybe it'll be a bit better than this. And it was actually amazing. I told myself it was better than Twisted Timbers, but the airtime seemed to be sustained for much longer. Instead of a couple of intense pops, it was like you were floating your seat for like a while. It was one of the best float airtime machines I ever experienced. And I got stapled, so even with a tight restraint, it was really fun. With Derek though, he thought it would be his #1 coaster by default just because he hadn't ridden a coaster above 100 feet actually. I'm surprised he even did it. But he did, and instead of being his #1 just by technicality, it was #1 in a landslide. I still have a lot of fun watching this clip right here.
And fuck this ride.
Fucking ass.
Alright, I just got off Candemonium just 2 seconds ago. And this is now the newest coaster ever. It is less than a month old in terms of when it was offering. And I'm absolutely blown away. That was incredible. Yes, one of the greatest coasters I've ever ridden, period. That was awesome. Oh my god.
We wanted to go on again, but the line was too long and we just wanted to head home. But we ride it every single time we're at Hershey Park, and it's still, even with Wildcat's event, Candemonium is still the second best ride in the park, and it's not just recency bias. Yes, I like it more than Skyrush. Get over it. It's an absolute must to never go back. Every single time, the ride experience is just as good as I remember it. In 2022, our trips started getting a lot more epic, and the next S tier memory is first ride on Storm Runner. In 2020, Storm Runner was closed the whole year. In 2021, the line was like an hour and a half long, and we just decided not to do it. In 2022, however, the line was only 45 minutes, and we were really looking forward to riding Flight of Fear. Well, it's called Flight of Fear, if you ask Derek. That was 3 school years earlier, and we are finally going to do it. Let's see what Flight of Fear is all about. And it indeed was a Flight of Fear. The launch was like Kingdom Colors, but like half the length, but it was a more interesting ride overall. I was really blown away from it. I liked it. It was awesome, and it was with me and Derek and John. Sorry, our friend Kaylin. Us 3 were all getting the credit. Definitely our favorite memory of the June of 2022 park trip. Derek said that this trip is when he started really getting to coasters. Like he did Camo and Great Bear in 2020, but wasn't quite ready for rides that were even bigger. He rode Fahrenheit, and he's like, okay, I sort of get it. After Storm Runner, he was like, yeah, I'm ready to do anything now. That was his 30th credit, and when we went on Skyrush, he had no fear whatsoever. He told me, so wonderful, this is a big milestone, especially for Derek. The next 2 S tier memories are at Cedar Point. First one is first ride on Steel Vengeance. I mean, do I really have to explain this? Steel Vengeance is amazing! Just go to our Cedar Point video, go get it.
So, we just called Steel Vengeance.
Yes. I have like no words.
The one here that's a bit more personal, exclusive to us, are our last 3 rides on Maverick. As part of our little 2-hour rush to do the important rides on our last day of Cedar Point, what we did was we brought our bags back to the car, and we only brought essentials like wallet and cell phone, just so we can move a bit more quickly. First we did Valraven, Iron Dragon, then Maverick, and we had Fastlane Pass, remember that. We did our 3rd ride on Steel Vengeance, and then Maverick was right there. He had a really good loose art policy. There was like no one in the Fastlane line, so we thought we'd just ride it until we can't no more. And it seemed to get more and more intense every single ride, especially in the dark. Do Maverick in the dark. That second launch is so dark at night, and it just feels way more powerful than it should. And after every single ride, we were liking it more and more and more, and we even got a really good inside joke that I'll just choose not to share here, but Derek, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I don't know how to explain it. It was just an amazing way to end the Cedar Point trip. You could argue it was our favorite part of the Cedar Point trip. It just had such a grand, epic finale feel to it. The next one is first time on Wildcat's Revenge, and it's not just about Wildcat's Revenge itself. I mean, the ride is fantastic, but I rode the original Wildcat 5 times. It wasn't really that bad ride, but I understood why the decision was made to close it. So this is my first RMC where I rode the original coaster that it's based on, so I was really excited to do that. We were planning it even before Wildcat's Revenge was announced. It was only rumored. Me, Derek, and Anonymous got a hotel room. We went to a Chocolate World, and while we did get a hotel for a park before, that being Cedar Point, with 3 people, that was the biggest, you could say, following that I had, and it meant so much to me that so many people wanted to join our park trips, and the lead up to it was fantastic. We had the Chocolate World, and then we went back to the hotel to drop some things off. We told jokes there.
I hate Hershey Park. Why is that so? I hate Hershey Park. Wait, I hate Hershey Park.
And then we got on the hour-long wait for Wildcat's Revenge. I actually wanted some kind of line so I could get videos. That was a-okay with me as long as the ride didn't break, which it did at one point. No, it didn't break at that time of the day. That was just a joke, and yeah, it was crazy. And then we did Wild Mouse to do our inside joke of Wild Folk 2023, and then Canimonium to complete the collection. So it was a pretty good day. The next day was fun too, but it did rain a couple times. It's kind of annoying, but per hour, day 1 of Hershey Park 4 was epic. And of course, we can never forget about I'm not sure if Wildcat's Revenge is better than Hershey Park.
With Wildcat's Revenge, I don't know if it's better than Hershey. I don't know if Wildcat's Revenge. I don't know if it's better than Hershey Park.
It's not just the rides that make these S-tier memories. It's the friends we made along the... Two more. The next one is Last Riff 3 with Insane Coaster Junkie and friends, which, after a couple delays, it's finally going to be released on Jay's channel tomorrow. Go see it. Well, finish this video first. Well, actually, it's not out yet. You know what I mean, dang it. And the last memory I want to share is my newest few rides on Interior 305 at Kings Mid. Oh, it's called Project 305? Well, here's a question for you. Do I care? I first rode Intimidator in 2017. Wrong Intimidator. And at the time, it was a bit too much for me. We rode in 2021 and it was a bit better. I rode in far back. I was with Derek, Anonymous, and my friend Gabriel, and we rode it back. Yeah, that was really fun. But then we decided to try the front because the line really wasn't that long, and we got a locker room, might as well get as many uses out of it as we can. And the front row is like, whoa, you get wind in your face, and the positive G seemed to be a lot more powerful. It was an insane experience. It was crazy balls how intense that was. Every time I ride it, I like it. And it was a fan-freaking-tastic start to King's Dominion 2. And that appears to be it. The last one is like S-. I almost didn't include it, but I thought these were the best memories to share. We'll end this video with, why do I like roller coasters? What is so fascinating about them that made me enthusiast for the last 3 years? Well, because these things are so incredibly fun. They bring you through experiences that you can never have safely elsewhere. And of course, being able to travel to so many of these parks and finding people and getting new experiences, so many surprises along the way. And of course, I learn more about coaster design as I go along, which makes me make better coasters and amusement parks in Roller Coaster Tycoon, which makes me want to go ride more roller coasters, and vice versa. And of course, it seems kind of corny that the best part of being coaster enthusiast is the friends we made along the way, but that's kind of the truth. If you see my See Your Point Without the Parks videos, that's kind of more important than the trip itself, just the journey of it, the hotels, the driving, and the people that you go with. And of course, when you ride a roller coaster, you're all enjoying the same thing together. It's a great community. Become a coaster enthusiast if you can today. Thanks for watching.